Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire.
I'm prepared to do this, and I've been waiting for a long time. I just turned 57 years old on Sunday, and I'm very excited about this, in particular because we have the nucleus in this organization that we've been working for years to move forward and be successful.
The words of the new executive vice president and general manager of the Tigers, Al Avila, takes over for Dave Dombrowski. Under new leadership, the Tigers are back to work tonight. Game 1 in their series against the Kansas City Royals. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pebble alongside Rod Allen. Glad to have you with us here tonight for Game 1 in this series. And Rod, after a long, grueling 10-game road trip, the Tigers come back home. And I would guess you would describe it as a feeling of a little bit of shock today. Absolutely. When we got to the ballpark today, the Tigers clubhouse was closed, and a lot of the front office personnel, they were running around, and they just had this look of on their face that was a look that we hadn't seen in a long, long time, and then we found out that David Dombrowski had been dismissed. All right, well, we're going to have to go on as normal here tonight. The Tigers have a big showdown coming up here with the first-place Kansas City Royals. Stay with us, Game 1 coming up. Central Division foes going at it. Tigers-Royals, the first of 3, next on Fox Sports Detroit. take on the Kansas City Royals. He is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And no team in baseball has Justin Verlander had more success against than the Kansas City Royals in 35 career starts, 19 wins against Kansas City, and he's pitching his best baseball of the year as we speak.
We'll check out the starting lineup he will face tonight. It is for the Royals and presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. It'll be Escobar leading it off. Alcides has been struggling of late. Zobrist to follow, then Lorenzo Cain. Hosmer, Morales, Moustakas is also in the middle. You got Perez, Rios, and Infante in the bottom three spots in the lineup for KC.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense. It's presented by Beaumont Health System. Right to left, you've got Martinez, Ghost, and Davis in the outfield, third to first. Castellanos, Iglesias, Kinsler, Marte. Kinsler, third in the American League among second basemen with 187 putouts. And the rookie phenom, he's behind the dish tonight. That would be James McKean.
Well, we are ready for baseball on what has turned out to be a perfect night here in the Motor City. Tigers and the Royals going at it in game one in this three-game set. Each team enjoying an off day yesterday. Alcides Escobar will lead things off for KC, batting .279. Couple of home runs this year for the Royals leadoff man. Justin Verlander ready to go to work, and so are we. The first pitch of tonight's ball game is a strike called on Escobar. Escobar just 173 over his last 12 games. The Royals scuffled in a series over the weekend against the Toronto Blue Jays. The 0-1 pitch. A little bit outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Jays won 3 out of 4 in that series against KC. Verlander, meanwhile, has been pitching his best baseball of the year. His last 2 starts have been outstanding. 1-1 is lifted in the air toward right field. Playable for J.D. Martinez. And that's how we start this one tonight.
And Verlander in his last couple of starts, one against Boston, the other one against the Tampa Bay Rays, 70% of the pitches that he threw in those 2 outings were for strikes. And he was able to get ahead of a lot of those hitters as well. And that really allowed Justin to get to his secondary pitches. Now, that would be the slider and the curveball and an occasional changeup. There are the numbers in the last 2. Has not walked a batter in 2 outings.
Here's Ben Zobrist, the newly acquired Zobrist from the Oakland Athletics. He looks at a ball outside.
And Ben Zobrist provides a lot of options for Ned Yost, their manager. He can play every single infield position, and he can play every single outfield position as well, and he plays them all well.
Now the 1-0. Zobrist looks at a ball low, 2-0 the count.
He seemed like the perfect fit for this team as they were looking to upgrade at the trade deadline.
Well, they've had Infante, who has struggled at second base. They also have Alex Gordon, who is out with an injury, and so Zobrist is playing left in this one tonight. There's Ned Yost, who has his team 20 over the 500 mark at 62-42 coming in tonight. That is it for a strike, 2-1.
And when you start talking about Zobrist defensively in left field, they really do not miss a whole lot out there. He's outstanding in left field and in right field.
And that is saying a lot considering the outfield abilities of Gordon. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-2 on Zobrist. 272 batting average overall this year, 9 home runs. He will provide you with a little bit of power. In fact, 3 home runs in that Toronto series. Here's the 2-2. High pop-up, third base side. Castellanos appears to have room. And there are 2 outs. It'll bring up Lorenzo Cain. There are a lot of pieces in this KC lineup that certainly are critical to their success, but Lorenzo Cain this year, Rod, is having a fabulous year.
And one of the keys to Lorenzo Cain this season, and something he has not been able to do until this year, and that's stay healthy. He's played in 92 games this year, and he is really starting to blossom into one of your brighter young stars in the game.
Cain is hitting over 300. He has a little bit of power with 11 homers. He's also stolen 19. And we know what kind of defense he plays. JV in search of the 1-2-3 first inning. Kane pops it up, foul, back out of play.
For so many years, the Kansas City Royals, when they would get on first base, they would have to steal to score runs. But now they've got some guys in the middle of the order. It would be Kane, it would be Hosmer, and Morales, who rank favorably in the American League. Batting average, doubles, runs scored. They've driven in a bunch. This is a really good offensive team, all-around team, much better than the team they had last year that went to the World Series.
Swing and a miss, and a big swing there by Kane.
Did you know that they're 3, 4, 5 ranked that favorably in the American League?
No, because we hadn't played him in a while.
True that.
You know, it's been a while since we've seen him, but then all of a sudden you look at the numbers that Kedrys Morales has put up. Hosmer has put up.
Hosmer has simply been on fire for the last 6 weeks. He's probably their most dangerous bat.
Here's the 1-2. Kane hits it in the air to right. J.D. Martinez cruising over. And that'll be a 1-2-3 for Justin Verlander on our way to the bottom of the first in Comerica. Things off for the Tigers. Their starting lineup tonight presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Brad Ausmus starting 9 looks like this. Davis, Iglesias, Kinsler in the top 3 spots. Victor DHing. J.D. Martinez had a really good road trip, 361. James McCann doing the catching. Castellanos, Marte, and Gose, your bottom 3. Facing the left-handed offerings of Danny Duffy.
He took it on the chin 5 days ago. He pitched against Toronto in their ballpark, gave up 3 home runs. But other than that, he's been pitching some pretty good baseball since coming off the disabled list. He's got a fastball that gets up to 96 miles an hour. He also has a curveball and a changeup. He does have a slider, but does not use the slider as much as he uses the first 3 pitches I told you about.
So Davis, a 4-game hitting streak. Standing in now to get things started for Detroit. Rajay looks at a ball outside, 2-0.
Looks like Rajay Davis is going to get considerably more playing time now that Yoenis Cespedes has been traded to the Metropolitans.
Got a lot of playing time in that series against the Orioles, and Rajay responded. He was 6 for 16 in that series.
I was shocked that Rajay Davis was not moved at the trade deadline. The last couple of years, we have watched how the stolen base has been so valuable to postseason teams.
Now Duffy with the 2-1. Pulled on the ground at third. Right there is Moustakas. Davis has kept off the base paths.
Let's take a look at the Kansas City Royals starting defense. It is brought to you by Tim Hortons, and it's a good defense. Zobrist, Kane, Rios in the outfield, Moustakas, Escobar, Infante, Hosmer in the infield. Hosmer has already won a couple of Gold Gloves, and he probably will win his 3rd this year. And their catcher, well, he's one of the best in the game. That would be Salvador Perez.
Iglesias batting .318, had a good road trip, 11 hits on the trip for the Tigers. has settled into the 2 spot in the lineup now. And he'll shoot this one in the air to center. That'll be playable for Lorenzo Cain. 2 gone. Time now for the Lowe's Never Stop Improving stat. We're going to key in on Ian Kinsler, who really since the end of June and the start of July has been awfully hot.
He has basically taken what the opposing pitchers have been willing to give him, not trying to force the issue, not trying to hit for a lot of power. He has taken a lot of base hits to right field, a lot of hits up the middle, and therefore the numbers, they have really perked up for Ian.
He is just about back up to 300, 297 overall this year. 5 home runs for Kinsler. And he looks at ball 1. Ian on the road trip hit a cool .417. They just couldn't get him out of that Baltimore series. $12 for 17 against the Orioles in Baltimore. Ball high, 2-0 now on Kinsler.
That's going to be a key for the Tigers today, to lay off the elevated fastball in the mid-90s that Duffy will feature on occasion.
Broken bat, line drive right to third, and that'll be a 1-2-3 inning for Duffy. We'll go to the second here at Comerica. Charge of the Detroit Tigers today. He was promoted this afternoon to the Tigers executive vice president and general manager. Of course, he was the right hand man for Dave Dombrowski, who was relieved from his contract today, and well, it's kind of a new beginning.
The Tigers are in good hands with Al Avila. It'll be a seamless transition. A lot of the people that are in place here, the people that David Dombrowski had in place, are the same people that Al Avila really respects, and a lot of people that he's going to lean on. But I was absolutely shocked, partner, when I came to the ballpark today to hear the news.
I think we all were, and there was a large throng of media here, of course, after the announcement was made. Catching most by surprise, Eric Hosmer leads it off. He'll look at a strike, 1-1. It'll be Hosmer and then Morales and then Moustakas for the Royals. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. I think you bring up a good point about being a seamless transition, because Al has been here for 14 years now and really knows the ins and outs of the organization.
A lot of the deals that David Dombrowski made, it was Al that was compiling all the information from all the area scouts. It was Al that was in charge of all the scouts. So he's played a vital role in the organization for the last 14 years. And then 10 years before that, he was with David Dombrowski in Florida. So those two had a remarkable relationship, a quarter of a decade.
2-2 on Hosmer. Well, we know this with Dave Dombrowski now becoming a free agent in the offseason. It'll be interesting to see where he ends up, but there's no doubt he'll be back in baseball soon.
Well, he is so respected in the game. As a matter of fact, he was getting some consideration for replacing Bud Selig for the commissioner of baseball. So that's how respected Dave Dombrowski is in our sport.
Rifle to center field. It'll drop in, a base hit right in front of Anthony Gose.
Eric Hosmer is on a mission, man. 11 home runs, 58 driven in, batting .315, playing Gold Glove caliber first base. He's a good player. He's really coming to his own this year.
So the Royals have the first hit of the ball game. That'll bring in Kendrys Morales, who has knocked in 73 runs already this season. And for Morales, that is good for 4th in the American League.
A lot of people thought that Dayton Moore, their general manager, was crazy when he signed Kendrys Morales in the offseason to hit in the middle of his order because he was so poor last year in a couple of stops, one in Minnesota, the other one in Seattle. But man, did they find themselves a real nice run producer.
Yeah, I think their offense fundamentally changed with the signing of Morales. And the one thing we're told about Morales is he had such a poor season last year because he basically didn't have a spring training.
Right.
And this year it was much different. And Morales, I think, has added a dimension with Billy Butler moving on. That is popped up left side of the infield. Here comes Castellanos. And Kendrys retired, one gone. Now Mike Moustakas. Moustakas this year at .283 with 10 home runs. Last season he batted just .212, although he was very good in the postseason. Numbers way up this year in the average column.
And Tigers not shifting on Moustakas nearly as much as they were earlier in the year because of the fact that he will bunt for a base hit. 3 bunt base hits already and down the third baseline for Moustakas. So they're not pulled over as much as normally.
Bouncing ball left side, and there he goes the other way into left field for a base hit.
That has been the biggest difference this year in Moustakas, is the fact that he went into spring training this year and he was committed into hitting some balls the opposite way. Look at all the hits that he has to left field. He has doubled the amount of hits he's already hit the opposite way this year than he hit all of last year. So that's the reason why he's up to 283.
Well, they have set up Salvador Perez now with 2 on and 1 out.
Salvy's been struggling now.
Really the bottom 3 in their lineup tonight. Perez, Rios, and Infante have all been struggling with the bat.
And what Justin needs to concentrate on here is to keep Salvador Perez struggling, get the ground ball.
Perez is just 2 for his last 21. That's it.
With no extra base hits.
179 in the month of July. He has grounded into 17 double plays this year.
And he just came from a real good hitter's park, too, in Toronto, so he must have really been scuffling.
That was a wild series the Royals played with the Toronto Blue Jays.
A lot of people feel like that might be the preview for the American League Championship this year.
Hosmer got things started with a single. He is at second base. They've got Moustakas at first with 1 out. We're in the top of the second at Comerica. Perez fouls it back, and now he's down 0-2. The Royals are making their final stop on a 10-game road trip after losing 3 out of 4 against Toronto. Rios waiting on deck. The 0-2 is hammered into left field, base hit. Hosmer coming around third. They're going to send him home, and he will score It's an RBI single for Salvador Perez, and it's 1-0 Kansas City.
That is a poor pitch and thrown by Verlander. He's able to get ahead of a guy who is 2 for his last 21. No balls, 2 strikes, and he throws him a 92-mile-per-hour fastball right down the middle. It looked like McCann wanted the ball up, but Verlander did not get it up, and he paid for it.
Boy, those 0-2 base hits are killers. And Perez gets his 44th RBI.
I mean, if you make a really good pitch, a breaking ball that's, down in the dirt, or a ball that's down and a guy gets a base hit, you can live with that. But a fastball right down the middle, that's tough to live with.
Here is Rios, who is 1 for his last 21, and his average at .241. Although he's had good numbers in his career against JV, a .372 lifetime average versus Verlander. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Three singles here for the Royals in the second. They go up 1-0. Rolled foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Rios.
And that's the pitch of choice against Rios, especially after you get ahead of him. You want to throw him sliders and you want to bury them down and away. Usually he can't lay off that pitch.
Royals signed Rios as a free agent in the offseason after the last couple of years with Texas. Of course, all those years with Chicago, and he broke in with Toronto. He's been around a while. Ooh, good bender in for a strike, and he got him looking. Rios doesn't like it, but he's punched out of there by Mark Wegner.
It's not necessarily where McCann catches the ball, but it's where it crosses the plate, and I think that Rios understands when the ball was caught, it was low, but what he's not taking into consideration is when it went right past his knees, it was knee high. Look at it. Right across the knees.
It was a bit of a tentative strike called as well by Wegner. He seemed to take a good long look at it, then punched him out.
Outstanding depth on that curveball that Verlander got the strikeout there of Rios on.
So here is Infante now with 2 on and 2 out. The former Tiger batting .228. He sliced that one foul. 0-1. 0 for his last 11. Infante. A down year for Omar, whose numbers were much better last year for the Royals. Last season he finished up with 66 RBIs. Omar as well has had very little success against his former teammate Verlander, just 2 for 19 against JV. Thought about it, takes a strike, and the count is 0-2. Verlander continues to get ahead.
It's an outstanding slider here thrown by Verlander at 86. His last couple of outings, his slider has been very good for him. Curveball, he always brings that one to the dance. Changeup is usually a good pitch every 5th day, but the slider goes in and out. But the last couple of outings, it's been a really positive pitch for Justin.
Drilled in the air toward left center field. Here comes Davis over. Here comes Ghost. It'll be Rajay to make the catch. And minimal damage done. 3 hits, 1 run for the Royals. to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica. By Jeep. Find your summer of adventure with great deals at the Jeep Summer Clearance Event. And by Dean's Country Fresh Ice Cream. Get real. Back here at Comerica Park, the Tigers return home tonight to start this homestand against the Royals. Kansas City on top 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the second. It'll be Victor Martinez, J.D. Martinez, James McCann. Danny Duffy goes back to work and delivers strike one. Duffy had an 8-pitch first inning. Tigers are hoping to get Victor Martinez going. He was just at a 128 clip on the road trip. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Outstanding pitch there thrown by Duffy. It's a changeup, and it's a pitch that continues to evolve for him. And he's been throwing it quite a bit lately. Actually, this is a breaking ball he throws here. Buried at the bottom of the strike zone. I thought it had tailing action on it.
Effective nonetheless.
Yes.
Here's the 0-2. Fastball is up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Danny Duffy, 26 years old. California native, Lompoc, California. Here's the 1-2. Bouncing ball to short. Alcides Escobar has it there. And Victor is out, 1 gone. MGM Grand Detroit brings you the scouting report. And the Tigers batting average, American League team leaders, Detroit 276, the Royals 269. And while the Tigers this year have been a little bit uneven in spots, Rod, I mean, for the most part, they have led the league in hitting all year.
They really have. And it's just kind of puzzling the fact that they just have not been able to win a lot of games. Obviously, the pitching numbers aren't where you'd like to see them, but you'd still think with the offense and the way that it's produced since day one, they'd have a lot more victories this season.
Swing and a miss by J.D. 0-2. Spoke with J.D. before the game today about his knee, and of course he banged one off his knee in Baltimore, and the very next day he was hobbled, got back into the lineup, and hit a big home run for the Tigers. He said that rounding the bases, his knee felt fine. Just felt no problem at all.
You know, a lot of times when you have an injury like he had on Saturday, which he hit a ball right off the left knee, so he was landing very softly on that front side, on that front leg in that first bat against Jimenez. And Jimenez made a mistake right over the heart of the plate in a really nice, easy swing by J.D. Home run number 29.
High hop to the third baseman, Moustakas. 2 up, 2 down. 5 straight retired by the lefty Duffy. That'll bring up James McCann. Well, the solid year continues for McCann. Good series against the Orioles. 5 hits in that series against the O's.
He is definitely in the Rookie of the Year conversation this season in the American League.
You look at ball 1 high. He has impacted games in so many different ways. Obviously, with his bat, he's hit some clutch home runs. The walk-off homer he had earlier this year, the inside the Parker. But what he has done defensively has helped to shut down opponents' running games.
His game-calling skills are also getting a lot better. Tremendous aptitude. He's a smart fellow.
1 ball, 1 strike. We thought he might get the day off on Sunday, the day game following the night game in the extreme heat in Baltimore, but Brad ran him back out there and he was able to answer the bell.
He's young.
Here's the 1-1. That'll float in for a strike, 1 and 2.
He handled Daniel Norris beautifully on Sunday afternoon, though, didn't he?
No doubt. Really impressive start for the youngster Norris. Now the 1-2 pitch. McCann swings and misses. Down he goes, and another 1-2-3 inning for Danny Duffy. Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire. advantage. It's an advantage that Justin Verlander has had his entire career against the Royals. I mean, look at these numbers.
He's kind of had his way. 19 wins in 35 career starts. The ERA just a shade over 3, and they've only been able to muster a .243 batting average against Verlander, who all of a sudden with the Price trade becomes the Tigers' ace again.
Yep, he's bumped right back to the top slot. Alcides Escobar will lead things off. Top of the order coming up for the Royals. And Verlander starts him off, strike one. Well, he has 19 wins, career against KC, 18 against Cleveland, 17 against the White Sox. Those are his top 3 victims. But the Royals are at top of that list. Now the 0-1. Lifted in the air toward left. Rajay is on the move. He'll run it down, one gone. Game break time. Here's Mickey York. What do you got on Josh Donaldson there, Rod?
He is an unbelievable talent. Very surprised that Billy Beane traded him away to the Toronto Blue Jays with about 3 years of control left. He is in the MVP conversation, and he might be the leader in the clubhouse in the American League right now.
He just might be, and he has been so big in so many different games this year for them. 2-time All-Star. He has really mastered that high leg kick, and he just does a lot of damage, a lot of power to all fields, and this swing is built for the Rogers Center in Toronto. 1 ball, 1 strike on Ben Zobrist. Popped up to the third baseman his first time up. Zobrist was acquired before the trade deadline, a couple of days before, July the 28th, when the Royals struck to get him for the Athletics. That's in there, a strike call, 1-2. Johnny Cueto got to a lot of the headlines in the deal that brought him over from Cincy, but this guy's going to be a good pickup for them.
And we told you he plays all 3 outfield positions. He can play all of your infield positions. He's a good defender in all the positions, and he hits. He's a switch hitter. There was about 7-8 teams that really wanted Ben Zobrist at the trade deadline.
Maybe the best example of what versatility can do for you.
Right.
There's Cueto. We will see him tomorrow against Matt Boyd, who will get the start for the Tigers. Here's the 2-2. Just off the plate, 3-2. Verlander wanted it. Didn't get it. There's the look on JV's face. Clearly outside. Lifted in the air again toward left field. Davis has been busy already in this game.
Yeah, a lot of flyouts already.
2 gone. How about Sunday? These Royals were involved in a situation with the Blue Jays where Donaldson was getting hit and pitched up and in a lot.
So Volquez hitting with a 94-mile-per-hour fastball his first time up, then a changeup up, then another fastball buzzed the tower. Escobar was hit, then Gibbons was kicked out of the game along with the pitcher that hit Escobar. So it was a lot of damage being done by the Kansas City Royals, but then when the retaliation occurred, it was the Blue Jays that got kicked out of the game.
Yeah, it was. And Aaron Sanchez was the pitcher that hit Escobar, so he received a 3-game suspension. And John Gibbons was actually already in the clubhouse and came back out, and that's a no-no. So that's a 1-game suspension.
Yeah, that's an automatic ejection. Suspension, I should say.
Bouncing ball to third, Castellanos. And Kane is out. It's a 1-2-3 third for JV.
57 years old on Sunday, and I'm very excited about this, in particular because we have the nucleus in this organization that we've been working for years to move forward and be successful.
Well, that is one whale of a birthday present, I would say.
Isn't it, though?
And Al Avila being named the Executive Vice President, GM today by the Detroit Tigers. And so the Tigers have new leadership moving forward. As Nick Castellanos leads it off here in the third, a swing and a miss.
Al Avila said that Mr. Ilitch, when he agreed to terms on Saturday, he told Al Avila that we're full go. I mean, we're still an organization here that's looking at winning a championship and looking at winning a championship really soon.
Well, the way this organization has been run the last decade, rebuild has really never been a part of that. I mean, this is year after year a situation where the Tigers have plenty of money to go out and spend on free agents in the offseason. And they've done a terrific job over the years. Dave has of trading for players at the deadline, and now it's going to be Al Avila's turn to take the reins.
This is a pretty good baseball team to take over for your first general manager's gig. They've got some really good players in place.
1-2 on Castellanos. Well, I think especially when you look at the good young core, I mean, you know, for the last couple of years we've talked about the veterans, and deservedly so, but you know, Castellanos, McCann, Iglesias, J.D. Martinez.
And now with some of the young kids they've got back in trades, Jacoby Jones, I've heard some outstanding things on the young shortstop they got for Pittsburgh. We've already seen Norris and what he might be able to do every fifth day. Boyd gets his turn tomorrow.
Line to right field. It's going to drop. Base hit right in front of Rios, and the Tigers have their first hit of the game. Leadoff single by Castellanos.
This is a classic swing by Castellanos when he falls behind in the count. Pulls the hands close to the body. Doesn't try to do a whole lot of damage. Just basically takes what Duffy's willing to give, and that's a soft single to right field.
Here's Jeffrey Marte. Marte at 250. Couple of home runs this year for the Tigers. Was 3 for 8 on the recent road trip. He'll take strike one. Marte gets the call at first base tonight. The Tigers still waiting on the return of Miguel Cabrera. They're hoping for the middle of this month. That would be good news, best case scenario. It'll back him out of there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tigers without Cabrera have gone 11-17. He was hitting .350 when he was placed on the disabled list. That'll miss inside. 2-1. There are so many ways it becomes difficult to replace Miguel Cabrera, Rod, and that's just aside from his pure numbers.
This is everyday presence.
Exactly. And really a pretty good ability to play first base as well. But that name in the 3 spot in the lineup, awfully huge. High fly ball. Shallow center field. And now it's going to be Kane who has to run in hard at the end. It looked like Infante might make the play. He peeled off. 1 out.
I guess Kane didn't see it initially. Omar Infante went out as hard as he could, as long as he could, which is exactly what you're taught to do. And then he heard Kane start to call it, so he simply stopped. Overall, almost overran it.
Here's Anthony Gose.
That young man, Lorenzo Kane, did not start playing baseball until he was in high school.
Bouncer to third. Moustakas will go to second. There's one there. Relay. Oh, they called the double play.
Really? Did they turn that?
I'm not sure. Let's see if Brad wants to challenge this. Out is the initial call at first base on the speedy Anthony Gose. Tigers are on the phone right now to decide whether or not they want to challenge. Hard to believe they made it that close. Close enough to call him out. No challenge. We'll go to the fourth. To win this year, here's what the wild card situation looks like. The Tigers, yes, they are just 3 games back. The only issue facing them now, Rod, is the amount of teams ahead of them.
Well, they can't control any of the teams that are ahead of them, but they can control their play. And it starts here tonight with their ace on the mound, Verlander. And they definitely need to start playing some better baseball right here at Comerica Park.
Yeah, this has typically been a really good place for the Tigers. They've won a lot of games at home over the last 5, 6, 7 years, but this season has been much different.
And be careful here if you decide to try to sneak a fastball by Eric Hosmer. If you do, you better get up to about 95 miles an hour.
Hosmer had a single in his first at bat. 1 ball, 1 strike. Morales, then Moustakas.
Hosmer's so dangerous right now. You have to crowd him. You have to go inside with good firm fastballs, as Verlander just did on that last offering.
Three singles in the second for the Royals. That's how they took their lead. Hosmer, Moustakas, and then Perez, who picked up the RBI. But JD was able to limit the damage. They got just the 1 run, stranded a couple of runners. 3-1. Kind of hard to believe with the stuff we've seen out of JD in his last 2 starts against Tampa and Boston that he has a game this year in which he's given up 6 runs and another start in which he's given up 7 runs.
I know, right?
Just doesn't seem to make sense, but he has gotten it back on track now. Ripped right back up the middle and right by Iglesias. Man, does he hit the ball hard.
That boy's bad, man. He legit.
He's 2 for 2.
We're going to make it our Bill Tire pitch by pitch. He's hitting with a tremendous amount of confidence right now. Verlander misses on the first pitch. It was a breaking ball away. Then he comes up in the end for a fastball strike. Then he falls behind at 3-1, and then he's forced into throwing the ball over the plate. And that would be a fastball, and it was absolutely drilled right back through the middle by Eric.
When you get it by Iglesias like that, where you see Jose looking back at the ball in the outfield, you know you've hit it pretty hard. Here's Morales. He swings and misses 0-1.
You can't forget about Hosmer on first base either. He's not a base stealer by trade, but if you're Verlander and you forget about him, Hosmer does have the kind of speed and base running ability to steal a bag.
Morales came in pretty good numbers against Verlander. Henry's was at 333 with a home run. fouled away, and the count quickly 0-2.
Best fastball of the night thrown by Verlander. Mid-90s fastball, 95 on the radar gun.
Royals now have 4 hits in this game. And the 0-2. Off speed, missing high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Kendrys Morales. Morales leads the team with 28 doubles. Another pretty good hitter, and Moustakas waiting on deck. Royals came in tonight 20 over the 500 mark, 62-42. The Tigers 3 under, and there's an awkward swing by Morales, and down he goes. Second strikeout for JV. Well, time now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo using hashtag Detroit Data Strong Fan. You just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Now Moustakas. Base hit to set up a run back in the second. Ball 1. Time called at home plate. I remember the Tigers got off to a red hot start this year, 11-2, but as they did that, the Royals were winning 7 straight to start the year, and they kind of hung around early and then seized command of the Central. That's lifted in the air toward third, but back out of play.
They've been pretty consistent all season long, have the Kansas City Royals. As a matter of fact, since the beginning of the 2013 season, no American League team has won more than games than the Kansas City Royals under Ned Yost. So this has been building for a while. I think we pretty much saw it coming.
Yeah, but it seemed like, you know, for 3 years before they actually put it together last year, we kept saying, look out for the Royals this year, look out for the Royals, and it finally happened last year.
Yeah, the defense has always been there. They've always had the good pitching. The back end of the bullpen has been stellar the last couple of years, but now they're starting to swing the bats.
1-1. Good pitch, but it missed high. 2-1 on Moustakas. Waiting on deck, Salvador Perez. Two and two now on Moustakas. Showed you Ned Yost there, and he took so much criticism last year because of the fact that he loves the bunt. And, you know, honestly, when your team is constructed the way it has been the past couple of years, well, that's got to be a big part of your arsenal. But so many people thought the Royals last year were winning in spite of Ned Yost, and he had the last laugh.
Yeah, we're not hearing any of those whispers this year.
He got him within 1 win of the ultimate prize in the game. Low, fill it now, 3-2 on Moustakas.
And more than likely, Hosmer will be on the move on the 3-2 pitch with 1 out.
Runner holding on 3-2. Little tap foul, third base side. Moustakas came in 2 for his previous 22, but singled in the second. Former first-round pick of the Royals.
Moustakas has only struck out 44 times this year, but yeah, Ned Yost did not start the base run.
And Hosmer not getting a big lead either. He holds again, and Moustakas swings and misses. Good call, as it turns out. Third strikeout for Verlander.
It's a good fastball. It's up in the strike zone, and Moustakas swings right underneath it.
That will leave it up to Perez here in the fourth. Perez has 15 home runs this year. That leads their team. They are one of 4 teams that have 6 players with at least 10. So they don't only have one big bopper in the middle of their lineup, but they have a lot of guys that will go double digits on it. Driven deep in the air to left. Way back. Davis goes to the track, to the wall, and how about that? A home run.
And he came in struggling. He's 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs.
His team high 16th homer, a 2-run shot to make it 3-0 KC. And the day off apparently did some good for the Royals. So all 3 runs today knocked in by Salvador Perez.
It's a fastball. It's right around the belt buckle, and he gets on top of it and hits it into the Tigers' bullpen.
A 2-out, 2-run shot. That'll bring up Rios. High fly ball. Left side. To the grass goes Castellanos. And that'll end the inning. But it's a good inning for the Royals. They get 2 more runs and they lead 3-0. Who was part of a nice and unique situation last night in downtown Detroit, John.
Well, that it was, Mario. I had the opportunity to attend the Dancing with the All-Stars event held over there at Joe Louis Arena. That helps benefit Jack's Place for Autism, and of course that benefit's put on by Jim and Lisa Price. Well, the proceeds of the event help raise awareness and money for families that deal with autism. And among the many participants was Craig Monroe, our colleague there. He's been practicing for the last 6 weeks. Now, he didn't finish in the top 3, but he did have the flashiest jacket. Also dancing Omar Vizquel and his lovely wife, Blanca Anibal, and his lovely wife, Ana Sanchez. They took second place. The winner of the event was Annalisa Avila, sister of course, Alex Avila and the daughter of the new Tigers GM. So a big week for the Avila family and certainly big for Jim and Lisa Price, too, raising awareness for autism.
That's not the first time she's won it.
No, 2-time winner.
Really?
2-time winner.
Yeah, but how about that yellow jacket?
Well, you knew Simo was going to be the
flashiest.
Guys.
Oh, thanks,
that won
Johnny.
the night, yeah.
I'm sure it won the night. Oh, man. Well, Good job by all, and of course, great cause, Jack's Place for Autism. As Davis swings and misses, Duffy, man, he's coming out throwing tonight.
Duffy, different pitcher here tonight, and we can see why he has taken a step further. He's getting ahead with that mid-90s fastball, but it looks like he's got a tremendous amount of confidence in this curveball right here. He's already thrown some outstanding breaking balls that have bounced the catcher. Perez has been able to block. Looks like he's starting to figure out that less is more. Not trying to overpower every big league hitter these days is Danny Duffy.
There's Iglesias. I wonder, and I can only wonder because I never had this ability, but when you can throw a baseball 96, 97, how long it takes for you to realize that pitching a lot of times is less is more. Here's the 1-0.
For guys like Duffy, you can only imagine that ever since high school and even go back to Little League or Pony League days, he's probably always been able to blow the ball by hitters. But once he got into pro ball and now in the big leagues, you learn that you can't throw it by a lot of these guys because they're such skilled hitters. So you have to learn how to keep them off balance, and that's what he's learning to do. But it does take a while before you stop trying to overpower guys that you've always been able to overpower.
Right back up the middle into center field. That'll be a base hit for Iglesias. 1 on, 1 out. Speaking of Jose, the Tigers conclude their series with the Boston Red Sox this Sunday at 1:08. It's Sunday Kids Day, and all kids 14 and under receive a free Jose Iglesias poster. If you'd like tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
Iglesias is starting to feel a lot more comfortable at the top of that batting order. I think he's probably started to learn how to hit in the first inning. There were so many times that he was batting at the bottom of the order, and then Brad would elevate him into that number 2 spot. It didn't seem like he was ready to hit in the very first inning, but he's learning how to do it now.
We'll bring up Ian Kinsler. Driven toward left field. Ball is hit well, but it's going to stay into the warning track. Goes Zobrist. That'll chase Iglesias back. 2 gone now for Victor Martinez. V-Mark going through it right now, and we have not seen too many of these as a Tiger for Victor Martinez. He bounced out in the second inning, but he was just 1 for 17 in that road trip against the Orioles. In that series, I should say, overall 128 on the trip. He'll bat here with 2 outs and a runner at first. In a 3-0 game, we're in the 4th inning at Comerica. Here's ball 1. Here's Duffy's 1-0. Popped him up. Straight up. Moustakas coming in. Who wants it? It's going to be Moustakas. And that'll take care of the side. No runs, 1 hit. 1 man left. Let's go to the 5th. by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit. Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Myers, save big with M-Perks from Myers. Sign up at mperks.com. And by Chevrolet, find new roads. Back here in the Motor City, downtown Detroit, spectacular night for baseball. Right now, the Royals on top 3-0. As we go to the top of the 5th inning, 3 runs, 5 hits for KC. The Tigers have been limited by Danny Duffy. A couple of singles for Detroit in this game tonight. There's a strike called on Omar Infante. He'll be followed by Escobar and then Zobrist. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. We're talking about how the Royals improved their team with some of the acquisitions they made, and Zobrist and Cueto. But as the month of August gets rolling here, we will probably see a few more deals. It is just a little bit tougher now to deal a player in the month of August.
Yeah, there will be some other guys that are making some pretty good money in other places that weren't dealt a couple of days ago that will be on the move.
That's down the left field line. It's going to go to the wall and extra bases. Infante will cruise into second. That's going to be a leadoff double.
You know, we've had a chance to watch Omar Infante for a number of years in the Tigers uniform. One of the things that he's been very consistent at his entire big league career, that's hitting fastballs. This fastball is up and out of the strike zone, but somehow Omar able to climb the ladder with his hands and get on top of it and hit the ball very hard down the left field line for a stand-up double.
For Infante, that breaks an 0 for 12 slump. 21st double of the year for the former Tiger.
I don't know exactly what Escobar will be doing here. And with a runner on second base, nobody out, he might bunt to try to get Infante to his third base. But if he's not bunting, he'll be trying to hit a ground ball to the right side of the infield.
Escobar, a couple of fly balls in this game, 1 to right, 1 to left.
He does have a couple of bunt base hits this season.
He pushes that one just foul, first base side. No balls, 1 strikeout. Escobar. Pretty good, 325 with men in scoring position this year. Leadoff double by Infante. The Royals got 1 in the second, and then a 2-run shot from Perez in the 4th. Now he's going to bunt. That'll advance the runner. Verlander throws him out. Sacrifice advances Infante to third. We'll see if Zobrist can get him in. The Tigers maybe pulling the infield in here.
Yeah, they have no choice now but to pull the infield in. The way that Duffy's pitching, they cannot fall any further behind the Kansas City Royals, especially with Kansas City's bullpen.
So Verlander from the windup here with the man at third. Zobrist is 0 for 2. And he drills this one in the air down the right field line. Martinez going back to the warning track to make the catch. That'll score the run. So they got him over and got him in. A sac fly and an RBI for Zobrist.
That's a nice job by the Kansas City Royals offense, manufacturing a run.
Hey, it's a Fox Sports Detroit Prize Pack Tuesday brought to you by Meyer. Enter at www.foxsportsdetroit.com to be eligible to win a fantastic prize pack any baseball fan would love. Here is Lorenzo Cain with the bases empty. Ball 1. Cain is 0 for 2, ground out, fly out. JV missed the outside corner. 2 balls, no strikes. Cain, the Royals player of the month in July, 367 last month. And the 2-0. 3-0 on Kane. Royals not stealing as many bases as they used to, are they, Rod?
No, they're not, because of guys like Kane, guys like Hosmer, the on-deck circle, Kendrys, Morales, their number 5 hitter, Moustakas, and Salvador Perez. They have some guys now that can really drive the ball into the gap. So really no need to steal as much as they have the last couple of years.
And it's in there for a strike. 3-1. Kane trying to extend his hitting streak, which right now stands at 7 consecutive games. High fly ball. Left center field. Goes on the move and under it to make the play to retire the side. Royals get another run. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire. The minor leagues down at Toledo, it was a big one. 433rd career home run, which broke Buzz Arlett's 78-year record, most minor league homers. And good for Mike Hessman. What a good guy.
Really good guy. And you don't stay around as long as Hessman has stayed around with one organization in AAA unless you're an outstanding individual.
You know, Mike has been, what I think in professional baseball, 19 years now, and much of that obviously is spent in the minor leagues, and had a couple of cups of coffee in the major leagues, including with the Tigers. But can you imagine how many bus rides he's taken over the years?
Taken a lot, man.
How many miles on the bus he's logged? Pretty impressive.
And he still enjoys playing the game.
J.D. Martinez leading it off. The 2-0 pitch from Duffy is high. 3 balls, no strikes.
Wasn't 433 a grand slam? Didn't he hit a grand slam last night?
Did he?
I thought it was.
It was a grand slam, we're told, yeah. It's doing it in style.
It wasn't it, though?
Here's the 3-0 to J.D. 3-1 on Martinez. McCann will follow then Castellanos.
And Duffy hasn't fallen behind many hitters here tonight. Therefore, he's only thrown a grand total of 44 pitches.
And he lost him, ball 4. That's a start. Leadoff man on here in the 5th. First walk for Duffy. We'll bring up McCann. McCann is 0 for 1. He struck out in the 2nd.
And Duffy got him on a really good changeup that was fading down and away from James. It was a ball. It was out of the strike zone, but he couldn't hold up his swing.
Sky to center field, not deep. Kane coming in, and on one pitch, McCann is retired. And retreating is J.D. Martinez. That'll bring up Castellanos. Duffy's ability has never been questioned. It's a matter of keeping him healthy. Last September, he had soreness in his shoulder and missed most of the month. Then he had a rib injury, which pretty much left him in the bullpen for the postseason. Started the year on, or was on, the disabled list earlier this year with bicep tendonitis. And returned from the DL June 24th. Nick looks at a strike 0-1.
He was really pitching some pretty good baseball in 4 of his last 5 outings. He had only given up 4 runs in his previous 4, but in his last outing against the Toronto Blue Jays, he gave up 3 home runs and gave up 5 runs in that game, and he also walked 4.
Rolled foul.
And here's some of the improvements that Duffy has made since coming off the disabled list. 2-1 with a 2.51 ERA. And the whip is very low, and the opponent's batting average is not very high, especially compared to the first 10 starts of the year.
Line to right field. Another inside out swing and base hit for Castellanos.
That's the first mistake that Duffy really has made today. It's an 0-2 breaking ball that hung up there nicely for Castellanos to slice the opposite way.
Walking a single here in the 5th inning, and the Tigers have something brewing now as Jeffrey Marte stands in. Popped up in the 3rd, and batting .241 now. Tigers have their 3rd hit of the game. Marte takes one up and in. Way up and in. .50 now for Danny Duffy. You see, most of those innings have been pretty snappy. A couple of 10-pitch innings, an 8-pitch first. Here's the 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike on Marte. Tigers will see Cueto and Ventura the next 2 games in this series. And once the postseason rolls around, Rod, we've talked about this, how some guys actually will drop down to the bullpen for the postseason. Here's the 1-1. That's inside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Well, you know, their front 2 are Cueto and Volquez, and depending on Giordano, Ventura, and Duffy, depending on which one is pitching the best or whichever team they go up against, so we'll decide which one of those 2 end up in the bullpen for the postseason.
And that's why the final 2 months of the year are just as important for teams that are playoff bound. Here's the 2-1. Way high. 3-1 on Marte.
And their bullpen is already very deep. Marte's going to get a good fastball to hit here. And the key is he has to make sure it's a strike. Can't swing at the elevated fastball. Make sure Duffy gets the fastball down.
Something for the crowd to cheer about. Verlander hoping for some support here in the 5th inning. Here's the 3-1. We took a rip and fouled it straight back.
Yeah, he swung at ball 4 too. But when a guy's throwing 95 miles an hour, sometimes you don't have time to decide whether you're going to swing or not. And that clearly was ball 4. And the very thing that we were hoping that he would do, he was not able to do, and that was lay off the heater upstairs.
The 3-2. Popped up foul back out of play. Anthony Ghost waiting on deck. Duffy had a good month. July was 2-1 with a 2.51 ERA. He had a really good start against the Tigers earlier this year. April 30th in KC, gave up just 1 run in 7 innings with 7 punch-outs. And he walked in ball 4. Duffy just missed, and the bases are loaded.
That is a very close pitch for Jeffrey Marte to take.
Perez tried to yank it back into the strike zone, was not given the call by Mark Wagner. And Dave Island, their pitching coach, is out to chat now with Duffy. He goes into a double play in his first at bat. Duffy, you would imagine, would be pretty good against left-handed batting, but he is not. Lefties have hit him at a 292 clip this year. You've got JD, who started things off with a walk. Castellanos and Marte. Fouled off 0-1. Ghost just 120 on the road trip. In fact, had to snap an 0 for 24 with a bloop double in Baltimore.
I got him going for that Sunday game. He got 2 hits on Sunday.
He can deliver a big one here in the 5th. Get the Tigers back in this game. Lifted back out of play. 0-2 now on Ghost.
And first 2 pitches to Anthony Ghost. And Danny Duffy reaching back, throwing 93-mile-per-hour fastballs. He was a little tardy. It was Ghost on both pitches.
Bouncing ball to short. Go to charge and come home. They'll get the force there.
Outstanding play by Alcides Escobar. He could have gotten the out at first base. They weren't going to get 2 with Ghost running, so why not just continue to come home where all of his momentum was carrying him. Just a really nice heads-up play.
So now it'll bring up Rajay Davis with 2 outs. Rajay strikeout and a ground out. Duffy trying to wiggle out of a jam here in the 5th. Bases loaded, 352 career. And he looks at a strike, 0-1. One of Davis's career highlights happened last year, that walk-off grand slam against the Oakland Athletics. Swing and a miss, and an awkward swing there by Rajay. Now it's 0-2.
Yeah, back-to-back breaking balls. Really good curveballs thrown by Duffy to get ahead of Rajay. He's really had a good breaking ball all night long.
Way over the top of that breaking ball. .21 pitch inning here in the 5th so far for Duffy. And he popped him up. Right side of the infield. Infante is under it, and the threat is over. The Tigers will leave him loaded here in the 5th. We go to the 6th at Comerica. Royals, Tigers had a golden opportunity, but they left the bases loaded in the 5th.
And we weren't together over the weekend, but your thoughts on the Toronto Blue Jays able to get Troy Tulowitzki from the Colorado Rockies, and they also got David Price from us.
Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious 2 of the best players in the league. If they can keep Tulowitzki healthy, I mean, you know, that offense right now is really flat out scary as you look at what is going on in the East. I mean, I think in my mind right now, Toronto is really going to make a charge for the wild card and perhaps that division.
They got 13 more games with the division leading New York Yankees, so they could very easily get back into the thing as far as winning the division.
As much as Tulowitzki was a big pickup, the David Price pickup for them was just gargantuan.
I watched all of David's start yesterday, and he was just as good for them as he had been for the Tigers in the year that he wore our uniform. Gave up 4 hits. He struck out 11 in the game, and he pitched 8 innings. Typical David Price start.
Morales waiting on deck. Verlander going to work here in the 6th inning, trailing 4-0. Hosmer spoils one back out of play. I thought they did well. I thought the Mets did well. Of course, they picked up Cespedes from the Tigers, and he provided some dividends.
Pirates did well. They got Soria added to their bullpen.
The 1-2. How about the Mets now? They've retaken first place in the National League East from the Washington Nationals, and now Terry Collins has a little bit of offense on that team to go with his starting rotation.
That rotation might be the deepest rotation in the game with the talent that they have.
Daniel Norris, who made his first start for the Tigers on Sunday, and it was a dynamite one.
Very refreshing young man is the Van Man.
That's low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I love that nickname. The Van Man. They were saying, a lot of the Orioles hitters were saying that ball just kind of explodes out of his hand.
He's got a nice, easy delivery. Fastball got up to 94.
3-2.
And he never panicked when he got himself into a situation where it looked like that Orioles offense was going to wake up in that ballpark where they play so well.
Yeah, I thought it was really good to see that when the Tigers got him 3 runs, Chris Davis hit a long home run to get that crowd charged up a little bit, but Norris just shut him down the rest of the way. Here's the 3-2 now. Popped up. Left side of the infield for Castellanos.
Something else that I was very encouraged with Norris is the fact that he's a pretty good athlete. I mean, this guy made one of the better plays you'll ever see a pitcher make, coming off the mound, leaving his feet diving, and then on a ball that was hit to the first baseman, he was able to get over to first base. It didn't complete the double play, but it kind of showed me that he was all in. He was engaged, and he just pitched an outstanding game in his Tigers debut.
How do you think Brad Ausmus felt about watching him sail through the air?
Well, he probably claimed him as a cousin now.
Probably. He didn't know what Norris was talking about before.
Right.
Yeah, he is my cousin.
Yeah, somebody told Brad that he's your long-lost cousin on your father's side. After that outing, Brad's like, okay, I'm all in.
I believe it. Morales, a strikeout and pop up. They played a shift against him. I mean, Ken Reese has got the entire left side of the infield. 0 for 2 in the game, batting .282 for the year. I mean, normally you'll see the shortstop play in until there's 2 strikes or at least 1 strike to maybe take away the possibility of the bunt. They're not even worried about that. Verlander knocks it down. Can he find it in time? He will not throw it. It'll be an infield hit.
Justin would have had plenty of time with Morales running down the line. Speed is not part of Morales' game, but once that ball hit his glove and then trickled to the right about 10 feet away from him, he couldn't alert it. And then by the time he got there, he took one look to see where Morales was, and he made the right decision not to throw that ball to first base. Why force the issue?
Here is Mike Moustakas. Moustakas a single and a strikeout. Royals have their 7th hit now. They lead 4-0 in the 6th. Sliced back out of play 0-1.
Looks like these days every single swing that Mike Moustakas takes, it looks like he's trying to hit the ball to left field.
Well, he showed his hitting chart a couple of innings ago. A lot of hits to the other side.
I think he only had 16 hits to left field all of last year. He already has 38 to left field this year.
One ball, one strike. Well, he had huge numbers in the minor leagues. He was a former #1 pick, and I guess sometimes it just takes certain guys longer to have it click before it does for other guys.
He really grew up in the postseason last year. Hit a lot of home runs in postseason play, and therefore coming into this year, he came in with a lot of confidence.
Five postseason home runs last year for Moustakas. 2 against the Angels, 2 against the Orioles, and 1 in the World Series against the Giants. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Moustakas. Broken bat foul.
Surprisingly, though, this Kansas City Royals team, with all the speed that they do have, they've grounded into 92 double plays.
Whoa.
Moustakas has grounded into 9. Salvador Perez in the on deck circle leads their squad. He's grounded into 17 double plays.
Tigers are so unworried about Morales running, they're playing behind him. Not sure unworried is a word, but there it is. Little chopper fouled on the first base line.
That's wise, though, in so many ways, because it gives Marte a little bit extra room down at first base. Should Moustakas turn on something, he'll be able to make a play.
Marte is not a first baseman, was playing third base in the minor leagues, but that is his role here with this club. Until Cabrera gets back. Swing and a miss. He chased one out of the strike zone. It's 4 strikeouts now for Verlander.
Menards brings you the big money encounter. Salvador Perez came into the series 2 for his last 21. Verlander got ahead of him with a fastball and a breaking ball, and then he threw him a fastball that was right down the middle, sitting on a tee, and that was the first run driven in of the game. And then Perez came up for his next at-bat. He got a fastball right down the middle again, and he played long ball for a 2-run home run, and that's 3 of the 4 runs scored here the evening.
Team high 16th for Salvador Perez. And now when you total up his numbers in his career, 459 versus Verlander.
Yikes. It didn't matter how much he was struggling when he came here today.
Nope.
With those numbers.
Because he was 2 for 21. Two balls, no strikes. It's getting up into Billy Butler territory.
It is.
Butler just tortured Verlander.
And apparently Verlander really does not know how to get Perez out. We'll see what he decides to throw him here. 2 balls, no strikes. Can't be a fastball, can it?
We shall find out. Bouncer back up the middle. It's going to find a hole. Base hit.
Yeah, he threw him a fastball.
Well, it's a 2-out single, and Salvador Perez is 3 for 3. Bring up Rios.
Our high-speed pitch on Justin Verlander, brought to you by Xfinity, is 95 on the 4-seam fastball, 77 with Justin Verlander's curveball.
Here's Rios, 0 for 2, strikeout pop-up. Strike one on Rios. He had big plans for Rios, but in the month of April was hit on the wrist by a pitch, and he missed 7 weeks. And since returning, a couple of home runs, 16 RBIs. The 0-1 is lifted in the air. Shallow pop to left center field. It is going to drop. Base hit. It'll roll by Rajay, but it'll get back there. Throw to second, not in time. That'll score a run. A bloop single for Rios. And it comes with 2 outs.
And Rajay Davis took 1 step back, as did Anthony Gose, and even both guys with all their speed in the outfield and weren't able to recover to come in and make a play.
They're ruling that a double. That is the 9th hit of the game now for KC. They lead 5-0. They scored in each of the last 3 innings. Here's Infante. Ball 1 to Infante. Omar had a double, scored a run in the 5th inning. That was a nice piece of offense by the Royals. 2-base hit. They bunted him up, and he scored on a sac fly by Zobrist. It sails outside, 2-0. Now McCann walking out to the mound to have a chat with JV. There's activity now in the Detroit bullpen. Neftali Feliz warming up, who was much better in his last outing. Now the 2-0. Taking 2-1. Justin was dominant in his last 2 starts against Boston and Tampa, both on the road. Gave up just 2 runs in 16 innings, but he's given up 5 in this one here tonight. Broken bat in the shallow left center field. Ghost comes cruising in to retire the side. Another run in for the Royals. They strand 2. We go to the bottom of the 6th.
5-0. Big night for Perez, 3 for 3, including a homer. Danny Duffy rides look pretty good in this game.
He really has. He's only walked a couple in this game, but he's only thrown 62 pitches. The fastball's gotten up to 96 miles an hour, and he's thrown some outstanding curveballs tonight against the Tigers' right-handed batters.
Iglesias leads it off here in the 6th inning. Looks at a strike, 0-1. Jose with a single and a flyout. .319 batting average. He's been among the best in the American League most of the year. It'll bounce in, 1-1. I was looking up Iglesias' numbers in the 2 slot because you were talking about how comfortable he seems. 333.
Yep, he's getting better there for sure.
Duffy ready with the 1-1. It'll straighten him up. 2 balls, 1 strike.
You now have Davis leading off with Iglesias with some speed. Kinsler has some speed in that 3 slot. Then you have Ghost with outstanding speed in the 9th slot as well. So Brad has bunched up all of his guys that can run a little bit. And quite frankly, they're going to have to play a little bit more of a game of hit and run and stealing more bases, especially with the absence of Miguel Cabrera and Yoenis Cespedes and Victor Martinez struggling right now.
Yeah, manufacturing might become more of a key word for the Tigers offense. Here's the 2-2. Bouncing ball right side. Fonte ranging over. And Iglesias running hard is out. 1 gone. Hey, Fiesta Tigres is this Saturday. The Tigers battling the Boston Red Sox at 7:08. Enjoy live music and pregame ceremony honoring former Tiger Placido Polanco. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
I heard you roll those R's.
Tigres. That's coming up.
You took some Spanish in college.
I did. Well, I took 4 years in high school, 4 years in college, and I've forgotten most of it, unfortunately. If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yes, indeed.
Kinsler looks at a ball outside. Now, your Spanish is really good because you played some winter ball.
I sure did.
Some Latin American countries.
Played in Mexico, played in Dominican a couple of winters. I played in Puerto Rico.
Did you find that you used it a lot when you played down there, or was it mostly English?
No, we used it quite a bit.
Did you?
Yeah, learned it quite a bit.
2-0 on Kinsler. And that one missed outside. 3-0. Duffy walked Martinez to start things off in the 5th, but pitched around that. In fact, the Tigers left the bases loaded. Kinsler takes high, ball 4, a 4-pitch walk. Third walk of the game now for the left-hander. Here's Victor Martinez. What have you seen out of Victor here? Has his swing got a little bit long, maybe?
You know, from the left side, I don't know if his knee is bothering him as it was earlier in the year, but the bat speed is not there, batting left-handed as it was earlier in the year. I haven't seen him that much from the right side to know whether that bat speed is there or not, but the numbers just aren't Victor Martinez-like, so something's going on.
Kinsler, meanwhile, just strolls into second.
Yeah, Duffy forgot all about him.
Didn't even look over.
And that would be our Chevrolet. A high-strength steal by Ian Kinsler. They didn't even make a play on him.
Here's the 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes on Martinez.
And what were the whispers in Baltimore regarding Victor Martinez? Is there any word coming out of the clubhouse as to he might not be quite right as far as some of the issues he had earlier in the year?
No, I don't think there were any whispers, but I think it's pretty obvious. I mean, a guy this caliber who has put up the numbers that he has in his career, you know, obviously he's not 100%. I mean, just some of the at-bats. Well, there's a line drive base hit to left. Get a run in. Victor comes up with an RBI single. Kinsler will score, and it's 5-1.
Yeah, batting right-handed hasn't been the issue for Victor Martinez. It has been batting left-handed, but this is an encouraging sign here with Ian Kinsler stealing a base to get himself into scoring position. And Victor Martinez makes some solid contact, and he drives in his 37th run. He was able to get that front foot on the ground, and you can see how firm that front leg is. He's hitting up against a firm front side. That allows you to rotate the hips to generate the kind of speed that you want to generate.
So J.D. Martinez will stand in. Swing and a miss. Getting back to your question, no, I don't think any word was coming out of the Tigers clubhouse, but you know, sometimes all it takes right is your eyes, and you can see that he just hadn't been right.
And Victor's such a proud man. He is not going to come out of the order, especially with Miggy not being there and Cespedes now playing for a new team.
Yeah, they need Victor. There's no doubt. The 0-1. JD has 44 RBIs in his last 43 games.
Sometimes if you watch Salvador Perez, he will tell the third baseman with his glove. He'll point to his third baseman with his glove and tell the third baseman when they're going to pitch inside.
Drill to center field. Kane is on the move. He'll get there, and Martinez is out. 2 away. Bring up McCann. Well, the Royals live for getting to the 7th inning with a lead, and they do so because of their vaunted bullpen. Now, toward the end of the month of July, it was roughed up a little bit, but still overall, they have been the best bullpen in the American League.
Their bullpen is much deeper than Herrera, Davis, and Holland. They've got Madsen, who's had a magnificent year. They got Hochevar back, too, so they've got a very deep bullpen.
McCann is 0 for 2, strikeout, flyout. Strike 1.
Salvador Perez is so quiet behind the plate for a guy that's 6'5", weighs about 250.
Remember when he first came up, and the first time we saw him here in a series at Comerica Park? I think you and I both thought at that time, this is before he even took off as a solid big league player, that he had all the tools to become really good.
For sure.
All-star caliber. He'll get back out of play.
Very seldom has Duffy shaken him off here tonight. He's won a Gold Glove. He's made All-Star teams.
No balls, 2 strikes.
And he also signed a really friendly deal.
Oh, he did.
After his first year in the big leagues. Very club-friendly deal.
Fly ball toward right field. Here comes Rios, playable, and the Tigers will settle for 1 run. RBI hit by Victor Martinez. We go to the 7th.
Here for years, and I certainly know him and have worked with him, so I don't think there's any type of issue there. And the truth is, when you come in the clubhouse and close the doors, you walk to the field, baseball is still the same. The game is still played the same. We still have the same job, and that's to go out and win.
And the thoughts there, Brad Ausmus, before the game today. Of course, the decision coming down that Dave Dombrowski has been relieved of his duties. Al Avila will take over. And Rod, you've known Dave longer than I have. Certainly accomplished a whole lot here, but the transition should be a smooth one with Al.
And no doubt about that. Dave is one of the more respected general managers in our game and one of the longest tenured general managers in our sport. But Al Avila, he's been in baseball for a number of years, 24 years in the last 24 years in the big leagues with Dave Dombrowski. And there's no doubt with this roster that Dave has left him that he's going to be able to get these guys back on track and get this team to winning some more baseball games. They've just struggled this year as a team, and that's the reason why they've had to trade away Price. That's one of the reasons why they had to trade away Soria and also Cespedes.
Justin Verlander goes back to work. Bouncing ball hit to second base. That'll be an easy out as Escobar is retired. One gone in the seventh. So Zobrist now will step in. There is action in the Detroit bullpen. That is Blaine Hardy, the left-hander.
Yeah, Verlander's closing in on 100 pitches here this evening.
Zobrist hit his sac fly in his last at bat, producing his 40th RBI of the year. When bends it for a strike, 0-1. Pop-up fly out his other two times at bat. I think one of the interesting things, Rod, in the next 2 months will be to see how the bullpen shakes out, because Brad made the comment in one of his pregame media sessions in Baltimore about how you can't just hand out roles. Guys have to work hard for roles and earn roles. And the Tigers really haven't had too many guys, as that ball goes back up the middle, that have really stepped up.
Especially when you start talking about your roles at the back end of the game. Of course, Soria, he was locked down in the 9th inning, but by and large, Brad really couldn't find that consistent 8th inning guy. Jabba held that role at the beginning of the year. He has tried Wilson in that role. He has tried Albuquerque in that role, Hardy in that role. He's just trying to figure out where guys fit best, and he has yet to figure that out, and we sit in the first week of August.
Yeah, Alex Wilson, you just saw him there. He certainly has been a bright spot along with Hardy. Lorenzo Cain standing in with a one-out single by Zobrist. That, by the way, is the 10th hit for this Royals offense tonight. Cain is 0 for 3. Strike called on Cain, 0-1.
Verlander only gave up 4 hits in his last outing against the Tampa Bay Rays down in Tampa. Pitched 8 innings that afternoon, but the Tampa Bay Rays offense not nearly as good as this offense.
That was the 100th Verlander pitch.
Fastball still firm. That one was at 92. Most stressful inning for Justin was in the 6th when he threw 25 pitches.
JV has given up at least 1 run in each of the last 3 innings. They had a 2-run 4th on the home run by Salvador Perez. Royals have 7 singles, couple of doubles, and a homer. Swing and a miss. Big rip there by Cain.
Yeah, that ball was about 3 or 4 inches off the plate inside, and Lorenzo Cain still thought he could get to it.
Hosmer waiting on deck. Davey wanted it, didn't get it. Last year in the ALCS against the Orioles, King was 8 for 15.
He was the MVP, wasn't he?
He sure was. Ended up hitting .333 for the postseason total, including the wild card, the DS, the CS, and the World Series. Sliced back out of play.
And he was making some terrific plays to the outfield as well. I mean, he just put together a fabulous postseason.
He showed out
on the biggest stage. Zobrist, the 1-out single here in the 7th. Fouled that one off to stay alive.
How about Rusty Kuntz, the outstanding first base outfield coach for the Kansas City Royals? Looked like he had to give his number 18 to Ben Zobrist when they acquired him. So Rusty just flipped the numbers over to 81.
Doesn't everybody do that? 81. That's pretty funny. Kane waits on a 2-2. Swing and a miss. Snapped over to first and the runner back. 5 strikeouts for JV. 2 outs here in the 7th.
And Lorenzo Cain just could not hold up on the good 2-seam fastball inside. Tied him up. And for the 5th strikeout. He swung at a couple of balls that were at least 6 inches off the plate inside.
That'll bring up Hosmer now with 2 outs.
Nice crowd for Tuesday night.
No doubt.
Beautiful weather.
That probably has something to do with it. Of course, the Tigers have been out of town for 10 days. KC in Boston on this homestand. Hosmer sends a ground ball to second. Kinsler has it there. And that is that for the Royals. No runs, 1 hit. 1 man left coming up the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch. Going to make the start tomorrow.
Yeah, we knew something was up when he only pitched 2 innings in his first outing for the Toledo Mud Hens. We had a feeling he would come up and make a start here. He throws across his body. He's got a lot of life on his fastball. He's got a real nice deceptive changeup as well that he'll use mostly to left-handers and right-handers.
The Tigers' new additions include Matt Boyd, Jacoby Jones, the infielder, who had a 3-homer game a couple of days ago.
I've heard some great things about Jacoby Jones, man. What an athlete they say he is. He can run. He's got some power. He can play shortstop. Probably going to have to move in positions because Iglesias is the shortstop here.
Here's the 1-0 to Castellanos. Slow, 2 balls, no strikes.
But everybody that I've talked to about the players the Tigers received back and the deals they made, glowing praise for everybody.
It was tough to do, but the minor league system now has been restocked. fly ball right center field. Kane is on the move, still going back to the wall. Can't get it. Castellanos routing the bag at second, and he will get into third base with a triple. Well, you expect Kane to catch that. He catches everything. He might be hurt.
Pretty good swing here by Castellanos. It's a fastball that is down, and he gets underneath it, and he lofts it deep into right center field. Kane did not think this ball was going to travel this far because he's a really good defender, but he drifted the whole way on this particular ball and ended up crashing into the wall. That is something that Kane has done a lot of in his big league career. He has crashed into a lot of walls.
That's back out of play. 0-1 the count on Marte. Runner at third now, nobody out.
As a matter of fact, I heard that in Kansas City they extended the warning track for Kane simply so he would not run into walls anymore. Having a longer warning track in center field gives him a little bit more time to recognize when he's on the track, so he will not run into the wall.
Inside 1-1.
We were just talking about the fact that Kane has stayed healthy for the most part all year, playing in his 92nd game.
It certainly looked like his back was hurting. It is the 5th Tigers hit in this game.
Kansas City conceding the run. They're up by 4.
1-2. Herrera warming up in the bullpen.
Herrera, Davis, and Holland. HDH, they call him.
Way high, and the count goes 2-2 now on Marte. Ball was headed to the backstop.
Yeah, if it was a fastball, it would have gotten by Salvador Perez, but the fact that it was a changeup allowed him to reach up and catch it. The Tigers have not been able to lay off that fastball that's been right around their belt buckle all night long, and Duffy has continued to feature that pitch.
Goes waiting on deck. Going to fill it now, 3-2. Leadoff triple by Castellanos in a 5-1 ball game. Here's the 3-2. Shattered bat. Look out, Dave Clark.
We've seen a lot of shattered bats already today and barrels flying in both directions.
Snap that one in half. And he lost him, ball 4. It's the second time that Duffy has walked the number 8 hitter, and that's 4 walks in the game. We'll get on the phone now. Dave Island having a chat with the bullpen. With Herrera warming up down there. So here is Ghost. Swing and a miss. In there for a strike, and now 0-2 on Ghosts. Dave Island has been in contact, or at least trying to get in contact with his bullpen. Goes right back to the phone.
Phone not working.
Anyone there?
Herrera's ready.
Fouled off.
Yeah, phone's not working. That's Doug Henry. He's the bullpen coach down there.
Again, the 0-2. Ground ball. Moustakas, nice backhanded play, goes to second one. Now they're going to come home, and Castellanos going to be tagged out. Oh, my goodness. Probably the worst thing that could have happened for the Tigers there.
Well, if you're Castellanos, what you have to do is you have to come as soon as the ball is hit on the ground. And with a runner on first base and a runner on third base and nobody out, if you come right away, they make the play on you at home, and they don't try to turn the two. As it was here, Castellanos didn't break until the ball was already delivered to the second baseman, Omar Infante. And then Omar Infante, out of the corner of his eye, he saw Castellanos trying to score and simply threw the ball home to get the out that way as well. So what Castellanos should have done is taken off on the ground ball initially.
So now Rajai Davis will bat with 2 outs and a man at first. That was not a good exchange there for the Tigers. Rajai in the game is 0 for 3. Davis looks at a strike right down the middle. Five runs on 10 hits for the Royals. 1 run, 5 hits for the Tigers. Duffy again will go back to the bag. Goes 16 steals in 22 attempts. Blaine Hardy is still warming up in the Detroit bullpen. Ball high, snap throw to first. 1-1 on Davis. So Duffy, who had Kinsler steal on him back in the 6th inning by not paying attention, is paying really close attention to Ghosts. Here's the 1-1. Another awkward swing for Davis. The count goes 1-2.
Yeah, Rajai just can't pick up that really slow breaking ball that Duffy continues to throw to him. He's taken several swings just like this swing that he just took.
Wally Joyner has watched his team put up just 5 hits tonight against Duffy. And the 1-2. Lined and caught at third by Moustakas. That'll be it for the Tigers. They get a leadoff triple in the inning but cannot score. 7 in the books here at Comerica Park. We go to the 8th. Still 5-1. raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time coming to Comerica. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives to Motor City. Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. And by 5-Hour Energy Shots. Have you tried great tasting 5-Hour Energy lately? Nighttime here in the Motor City. The Tigers trailing the Royals 5-1. And as we go to the 8th inning, Kendrys Morales will lead it off. Danny Duffy wiggling out of a couple of jams in this game. Meanwhile, Verlander is out of the game. Wallside Windows pitching change for Blaine Hardy.
Blaine's had a really nice year, pitching in his 48th contest here tonight. 46 innings, 254 as far as the ERA is concerned. He throws a lot of strikes. He has punched out 38. He's only walked 16 so far this year.
Switch hitting Morales turns around, bats right-handed, strike one. Moustakas and then Perez to follow. We're in the top of the 8th, 5-1 KC. Ball outside, 1-1. One and two on Morales. Now Matson is warming up. So Herrera no longer throwing. Did he go? He did not, says Marty Foster at first. Here's the 2-2. Drilled. Foul. Morales had an infield single back in the 6th inning. Came around on a Rios hit. A double. Royals have never trailed in this game. At one point building a 5-0 lead. Tigers got their only run in the 6th. Blaine Hardy, along with Alex Wilson, two of the more consistent performers, especially at the back end of games now. We talked about Wilson getting that 5-out save a couple of days ago in Baltimore. There's a lazy fly ball to center field for Ghosts. 1 out. That'll bring up Moustakas.
I think Alex Wilson, he's kind of inherited that closer's role now, hasn't he?
Yeah, I would say so. You know, Gibby and I were talking about this in Baltimore, and that, you know, the one thing about Wilson is that he's one of your few guys back there that can throw multiple innings. Yet if he's been your best, then he probably has to close games.
And he's thrown a lot of strikes. He has not beaten himself with base on balls.
High fly ball to center field, has Ghosts on his horse, still going back, turns around, twisting and making the catch.
Boy, it's a nice thing to have really good speed in the outfield, because he was twisted and turning and taking all kind of bad routes out there, but yet his speed allowed him to make the play. And he's talking about that ball was kind of slicing on him coming off the bat of the left-hander. Natural slice off the bat of a left-hander, but a nice adjustment by Anthony Ghosts.
That chubby checker, let's do the twist.
It looked like it.
Thank you very much, says Hardy. Here's Perez. Drilled deep to left, but it's going to go foul. Salvador has had a good night. 3 hits, including a 2-run shot.
He came in with really good numbers against Justin Verlander, even though he struggled in their recent series in Toronto. 2 for 21 when Kansas City got to town.
Bottom 3 tonight for the Royals. 5 for 9 with a homer and 4 RBIs. They've also scored a couple of runs. Two and 1 the count. Line drive to left. Prajay coming over, sliding, and making the catch. So Hardy has a 1-2-3 inning. Bottom of the 8th on the way. Park Ryan Madson will take over, and with more from the Royals right-hander or on the Royals right-hander, we check in with Johnny Kane.
Well, Mario, if you remember back in 2011, Ryan Madson was one of the more dominant closers in the game with the Philadelphia Phillies, but as is the case with a lot of pitchers, certainly Tommy John comes into the equation. Had Tommy John surgery after he was picked up by the Cincinnati Reds, and then he has subsequently missed the last 3 seasons. LA Angels of Anaheim, they took a flyer on him, but really missed the last 3 seasons because he had complications in the rehab back. So it looked like he was going to be forced into early retirement, but said he thought long and hard about it, spent a lot of time with his family, put in a ton of work. And then he signed with the Kansas City Royals, and I talked to him earlier today. And, of course, when you come into a backloaded bullpen like they have with Herrera, Davis, and Holland, and now he gets an opportunity situation like this, that it really couldn't be in a better situation. Basically said, it's not how I wanted to leave the game, missing the last 3 seasons due to injury.
Yeah, absolutely. Johnny, thanks. In a wall-side windows pitching change, you look at the numbers on Madson, who is now residing in, well, the best bullpen in the American League.
Well, we were talking about Madson a little earlier in the game, along with Hochevar, how they have lengthened the bullpen already. That's very dangerous with Herrera, Davis, and Holland. They have now 5 guys down there with 95 and above average fastballs.
1 ball, 1 strike on Jose Iglesias. Madson saved 32 games back in 2011 with the Phillies, the last time he was in the big leagues. Iglesias looks at a ball low, 2-1.
Madson has not been scored upon in his 6th outing since the All-Star break. Hasn't walked very many. Just 9 total walks all year for Ryan.
Swing and a miss. He had him spinning like a top. 2-2. Royals bullpen an ERA of 2.28, and that is the best in baseball.
Look at the movement on that 2-seam fastball. That thing started right down the middle. Iglesias started his swing, and the ball nearly hit him.
Bouncing in, 3-2. He and Kinsler on deck. Madson will have to deal with 2, 3, and 4 in the Tigers lineup. Bouncing ball to short, charging Escobar. Quick release. And Iglesias is out, one gone.
Here's our 1-800-CALL-SAM call of the game. Ian Kinsler walked, and Brad Osmus gave him the green light. He stole second base, and he was sitting there for Victor Martinez, who turned on a fastball thrown by their starter, Danny Duffy. That's the only run the Tigers have been able to score this evening.
So Kinsler stands in. Duffy goes 7, gives way to Matson here in the 8th. That's the second start this year that Duffy has gone 7 against the Tigers, allowing just 1 run. He did it back in April at Kauffman Stadium. Bouncer right back to the mound, and Kinsler will be retired. 2 gone. A couple of ground ball outs. Well, baseball's playoff race is starting to get into high gear, and Saturday we've got a doubleheader starting with the Dodgers taking on the Pirates. Then at 7 p.m. Eastern, National League Central leading Cardinals battle the Brewers in a game you can see only on Fox Sports 1. Coverage begins at 3:30 Eastern, only on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Now Victor Martinez.
And first time Victor batting left-handed here this evening.
Strike 1 on Martinez.
A little bit of a shift on Victor. Omar Infante playing about 10 steps deeper than he normally would be on the grass in the outfield and right field. Everybody else just kind of deep at their respective positions on the left side of the infield.
0-2.
Victor batting .213 this year left-handed, batting .361 right-handed coming into this game.
Slap back out of play. Martinez had an RBI single in the 6th inning, knocking in the Tigers' run. That was against the lefty Duffy as he was batting right-handed. And the 0-2. Little pop up in the air toward left. Zobrist under it, and Matson is going to have himself a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the 9th here at Comerica.
That'll be right-hander Al Albuquerque.
Albuquerque's had a nice year. Got off to a really sluggish start. The ERA was up over 6.5, but it's gotten down to 3.27. Al pitching in his 47th game, and he's averaged nearly a strikeout per outing.
Alex Rios leads it off, and he'll look at ball one. Blaine Hardy, a 1-2-3-8. Albuquerque facing Rios, Infante, Escobar. There's a strike call.
Did you know that Blaine Hardy has gone 78 innings without giving up a home run?
No.
78 innings. That's the longest such streak in the majors. Wade Davis, the very talented 8th inning guy for the Kansas City Royals, gave up a home run just a couple of days ago, and he was the leader with 125 innings pitched without giving up a home run.
Rios goes the other way with a single.
So Blaine Hardy's got a nice little streak going. Hadn't given up a home run since June of 2014.
That'll bring up Infante. Omar is 1 for 3, a double and a run scored. Ball one. Opponents this year batting .252 against Albuquerque, 45 strikeouts, 44 innings. Really, for the most part, has been fairly consistent this year. McCann flashing the signs. The 1-0. Tigers fell behind early in this one. Royals got 1 in the second, 2 in the fourth. They scored 5 times against Verlander. Justin would end up going 7 innings in this game. Ground ball left side, base hit. That will scoot Rios to second, and the Royals now with runners at first and second, nobody out. Well, this Friday, the Tigers take on the Red Sox at 7:08. Fans are invited to stay after the game for a fireworks spectacular. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. So the Royals bottom 3 now, 7 for 12 in this game. That is getting it done at the bottom of your lineup. See what Escobar is going to do here. Castellanos on the cut of the grass at third. Swing and a miss. Royals tonight 2 out of 5 with men in scoring position. Another swing and a miss, 0-2.
A couple of outstanding sliders thrown to Alcides Escobar. Both buried down and away from him. Al can go a couple different ways here. He can elevate a fastball, or he can simply go back outside with another really good slider, but don't get too much plate with it.
Soft line drive caught. Quick throw, it gets away, but it'll roll to Castellanos at third. First out of the inning, and that'll bring out Ben Zobrist. Knocked in a run with a sacrifice fly in the 5th inning. Royals got a leadoff double, bunted him to third, and Zobrist did the rest. He's played second, left, and right this year. Ball one. Luke Hochevar warming up the bullpen now for the Royals. Here's a strike called, 1-1. Twelve hits in this ball game now for the Royals. The Tigers have had just 5. Now the right-hander with the 1-1. Zobrist hits it off the end of the bat. 1-2. Tigers in the 9th inning have J.D. Martinez, James McCann, Nick Castellanos. Lorenzo Cain waiting on deck. Here's the 1-2. Little pop-up, shallow center field. That'll bring Ghosts over to his right, and there are 2 gone. Runners holding. Well, as promised earlier in the game, we have selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag Detroit Data Strong Fan for a chance to have it featured in an upcoming broadcast. Is brought to you by T-Mobile.
Paul's getting some love.
Yes. Yes, he is. Here is Lorenzo Cain. Cain is 0 for 4 in this game. Shoots one on the ground to short. They'll get the force at second. Threat is over.
Make that 0 for 5.
No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. Here comes the bottom of the 9th. And Hochevar.
Coming up on a post-game edition of Tigers Live, we'll be catching up with Nick Castellanos, who had a really good night at the plate tonight for the Detroit Tigers. Back in the Coliseum studios, Mickey York and Craig Monroe, they'll assess what's going on across the AL Central. Of course, we'll update the wild card standings in this one as well. And certainly we'll catch up with Brad Austin. It's been a busy day down here at the ballpark with all the news and developments, and we'll certainly bring you a lot of that press conference from Al Avila earlier today as well. That's all coming up on a post-game edition of Tigers Live, but more baseball to play. And for that, we'll head back up to the booth, guys.
All right, Johnny, thank you very much. Luke Hochevar will take over now for KC.
And working his way back from Tommy John surgery a year ago is Hochevar. He has pitched in 27 games this year. The ERA sits at 4, 28 strikeouts, 8 base on balls, mid-90s fastball for Hochevar.
By the way, I am so jealous of Johnny Cain's hair.
Are you? He had it flowing today, didn't he?
Nice coif, man. Here's J.D. Martinez leading it off. First one grounded foul. J.D. had it bang off his foot. It'll be Martinez, McCann, Castellanos. Tigers down 4 as we go to the bottom of the 9th. J.D. trying to walk this one off. It took him a while in Baltimore to walk off that ball that he hit off his knee. So his legs aren't feeling too good right now.
You know, the day off was probably a good day off yesterday for JD. Well, here's the ball that he hit off his left knee on Saturday.
He came out and played some defense. You could clearly tell it was really hurting, and then came out of the game.
Kudos for him, though, to play on Sunday when he was clearly not 100%, but he still went out there for his team, and he homered in the very first inning to take the pressure off the youngster Daniel Norris.
Only 2-1 coming from Hochevar, swinging a foul tip, 2-2. JD was saying before the game, he said, you know, sometimes you're not feeling all that good. You get to the ballpark, you just don't think you're going to have a big game, and then boom, something good happens. And you're right. That's why it was important for him to get back in the lineup the very next day.
And Tigers have a tremendous training staff down there as well that helped. And JD get prepared for that game on Sunday.
Lifted back out of play. Two and two, the count stays. Kevin Rand, Doug Teeter, Matt Brankin, they all do a fabulous job in keeping the Tigers healthy.
Yes, they do, and they've been very busy this year.
Hochevar ready again with a 2-2. Down the right field line, that ball is slicing to the corner. Foul. Luke Hochevar, former #1 pick, or first-round pick, I should say, of the Kansas City Royals.
He was the first player taken in the country, wasn't he?
Yeah, you're right, actually, he was. So I was correct. He was #1 pick.
Never really made it as a starter, up and down, up and down. Finally, a couple of years ago, they stuck him in the bullpen, and he was lights out in the 8th inning. His numbers were very impressive.
Right fielder Rios under this one, and one gone. They follow the Tigers all season in 2015 with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews. Look at radio broadcast, statcast, and more. MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. Get it now. Here's McCann with one out. Royals got a scoreless 8th from Matson, and now they turn it over to Hochevar. Fly ball right field. That'll chase Rios back. Not deep enough, though. And there are two gone.
A lot of flyouts today off the Tigers' bats.
Bring up Castellanos, the Tigers' last chance here to keep it going. Duffy was really good in this game, allowing just one run in the 6th inning.
Real nice bounce back start for Danny Duffy after not pitching all that well in his last outing against the Blue Jays.
Ball one to Castellanos.
That Blue Jays offense, they can put up some numbers on a lot of guys.
Pretty scary. Swing and a miss, 1-1. So much, Rod, is made about the guys you talked about, Herrera and Davis and Holland, but it's these other pieces. Hochevar, we saw Matson tonight. Makes them really deep.
That's one of the reasons why the Kansas City Royals, they have 27 come from behind victories this year. When they are behind, their bullpen comes in. He shuts it down until the offense wakes up.
2-1 on Castellanos.
This is now the third guy that we've already seen with a mid-90s fastball. So Matson's mid-90s, Hochevar's mid-90s. You know, Holland, Herrera, and Davis are mid-90s. So then you start adding in Cueto and Giordano and Volquez, and you got a ton of guys that are 95 and above with their fastballs.
This should do it. Lorenzo Cain is under it, and the Royals come into Comerica and win Game 1 in this series.
Well, the Royals showed here today why so many people believe they are the best.